Adam Mosseri is the head of Instagram. He's with us exclusively this Monday morning. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So before we dig into this announcement, would we even be having this conversation had it not been for the Wall Street Journal article and the intense pressure you guys have been under over the last few weeks?
I think it's impossible to say, but I do think that we have been working on this idea called Instagram Kids, at least outside in the world. The idea being a version of Instagram that's designed for tweens, and it's had a lot of attention. And so I think it's very possible we would be speaking. But today, we want to talk about how we're going to put the work on pause. I still firmly believe that it's a good thing to build a version of Instagram that's designed to be safe for tweens. But we want to take the time to talk to parents and researchers and safety experts and get to more consensus about how to move forward.
So Instagram for Kids is scrapped for the time being. Is that because we now think it was a bad idea?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I firmly believe it's a good idea. As a father, the most important thing to me is the safety of my children. And I have to believe that a world where there's a version of Instagram that's designed for tweens, one where there's no ads, where there's age-appropriate content, and one where a parent can choose to let their child use it and control things like who they follow and who they message, is better than the alternative.
All right, let's talk about the kids for a second, because according to your own research, as I understand it, roughly a third of teenage girls who said when they felt bad about their bodies, Instagram made them feel worse. How do we fix that?
So I don't believe that's exactly what the research said, but I do want to be very clear that if anybody leaves using Instagram feeling worse about themselves, that's an important issue that we need to take seriously and that we need to figure out how to address. And so we have a number of ideas in the world of body image and negative social comparison. Last week, we announced that we were working on nudges, the idea that if you're going very deep in one topic, we might nudge you to try another topic. And another project that we call Take a Break, the idea being that you could put your Instagram on pause for a period of time if you're in a moment of vulnerability. Maybe you're going through a breakup or you just switched high schools.
So I know the details are being worked out, but this Take a Break idea, how will that work? When will we see that in our feeds?
So the way it would work is that your Instagram, your account, your profile, how you show up would essentially be on pause. So the specific details we're still working through, but the idea is that you wouldn't have to worry about people talking about you, addressing you, commenting on your content while you were on a break. You would basically be able to leave and then come back and pick up exactly where you left off.
So let's talk about the other ideas that your parental controls, I understand, over the next few months. You guys are going to roll out parental controls.
Absolutely. So we've been working on parental controls for a long time, actually as part of our work on Instagram Kids. But in talking to parents all over the world, it's clear that 13 isn't a magic age. Parents of kids of all ages are looking for more ways to supervise and control their kids' experiences online. And so the idea is that we're going to bring these parental controls as an optional feature to teens everywhere. And by the way, these features and even a version of social media for those under 13 are things that our competitors like YouTube and TikTok have already done and launched.
So will parents be able to mirror their kids' accounts? How's that going to...
So we're still working through the details, but the idea would be that they could see what their kids are doing.
Okay.
They could manage how much time their kids spend on the app, and they could possibly approve things like who they can message and who they can follow.
Okay. And again, this is going to be something that's rolled out over the next few months.
Yes, we've been working on it for a long time, but we're a few months away from launching, and we wanted to talk about it today.
I think a lot of folks who are watching and listening will probably wonder, you guys have had this research, you've had this information for some time. Why not do some of this sooner?
So we've actually been working on a lot of this for years now. We do this research to shed light on problems. That's the whole point of the research, which is why I'm actually proud that we do that kind of work. That work has inspired lots of interesting product changes. For instance, we announced a couple years ago we wanted to lead on the issue of online bullying.
Yeah.
And the research we did when we asked kids and teens why they didn't block people who were harassing them on Instagram was that they were worried about fear of retribution because they have to see these kids in school. And also, they needed to track what was being said about them. So that inspired the Restrict feature, which we launched a few years ago. So over the years, we're constantly doing this research, both internally and externally, and using it to inspire changes to the product.
One of the problems, again, you mentioned 13, of course. That's the age at which you're supposed to be able to get an Instagram account. You and I both know there are kids on Instagram who are under the age of 13. I'm not going to put my cousins on blast, but I've got some family members who aren't 13 who have Instagram accounts. How do you fix that?
So that is a very difficult challenge. Verifying the age of kids and tweens who are too young to have IDs is difficult. We rely on things like reports and parental forms, but it's not a perfect process, which again is why we think a healthier place to end up is to have a version of Instagram that was designed for tweens that parents have the option to give their kids access to, as opposed to letting kids sometimes sneak in and go rogue. And then eventually the parents or we find them and we take them off. But there's a risk there that we want to mitigate.
So age verifications, features are coming.
Yeah, we continue to do a lot of work on age verification. I think we're doing as much, if not more, work than anybody else in the industry, but it is a very difficult challenge.
Okay. Adam Mosseri, thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.